Cosmos picked up his laptop and found his way back out into the pavilion. At the ice cream bar, Echo served him up a chocolate milkshake. I bet if we ask IQ, he and the other lab rats could put a bot together to dish out ice cream or coffee, Cosmos said. Don't do that. I like saying hello to everyone. One of myselfs is playing pool. One is doing homework. One is reading up on what the lab rats are up to. And the two of us, Echo waved to one of his selves that were behind the coffee bar and continued, get to see most everyone and say hello. Oh, I thought it would be boring or something. No, we like it. Enjoy your shake. Cosmos found an out-of-the-way place to sit. On the laptop, he connected to the grid and started looking for the topic he wanted. For the next 20 minutes, he read at high speed without interruption. Euro for your thoughts? Glimmer said as she sat down across from Cosmos and placed her coffee cup on the table. Hey, where have you been? I had some extra homework to finish. Are you still doing academics? No, this is some reading I was just curious about. What is it? I was reading about ancient Egypt and the early pharaohs, or kings as they were sometimes called. Why? I was just curious about something. Did you know during the Egyptian proto-dynasty, they only have a few names on pots and graves to try and piece history together with? Many experts don't even agree on when it happened. That's fascinating. Why such an interest in this? Glimmer asked. No real reason. I was just interested in how the first rulers of Egypt brought the empire together. Maybe they were supers or near misses. Maybe. Cosmos knew not telling Glimmer what he was really thinking was kind of like lying. He also knew he promised Connors not to tell anyone what he knew. I was very happy to hear you chose the name I picked for you, Glimmer said with a smile. You're welcome. I mean, it was a good pick. Thank you for it. Cosmos closed the lid of his laptop when he remembered something his mother told his father once about giving her his whole attention. What did you used to do at home for recreation, before you came here? Wow, I didn't do much. I was raised as a near miss among regular kids, so I couldn't play sports. I just studied a lot. I was kind of a brain among the other kids at school. Here, I'm just normal. Glimmer reached across the table and tapped Cosmos' hand. You're not normal here. You're an Omni. I know, it's still sinking in. My team is adjusting faster than I am. Cosmos drank some of his shake. Children raised in superfamilies learn to adapt quickly. Do you like coffee? Glimmer sipped on her drink and frowned. Not usually. What's wrong? My coffee is cold. Can you warm it? Glimmer extended her cup towards Cosmos. I'd better not. I might explode it or something. Really? You can make heat, right? Sure, melting the steel in the side of the pit and fusing the rocks behind it together is easy. I have trouble using some of my powers on a small scale. Transmuting or rearranging matter, I'm good. I'm getting pretty good with the telekinesis too, but my temperature stuff is still shaky. Mine is the opposite, Glimmer said as she projected white light from her eyes into her coffee. When she stopped, her coffee was steaming again. Hey, you could do it. Why ask me? Cosmos asked. I wanted to see if you could do it. See, mine is the opposite. I have great control over small applications, but haven't practiced it for combat much. Really? I thought you baked sheep pretty good that time. I could do better if I practiced it more. As a stealth, bright lights work against you. You should practice it in the pit. I should. I only rate a 6 in my light powers, while my father rates a 9. So, I know I can bring them up, I just haven't. I've been spending all my time working on my stealth combat. Next, I need to work on my sword work. She can still beat me with that. Then you should work on both. I need to. I'll have to ask she to tutor me in the sword. I don't think anyone here knows as much about it as she does. I do. Glimmer smiled at Cosmos. That's sweet, but I would need someone that really knows sword work. I don't have she's speed or strength, but I know as much about the sword as she does. How? We weren't supposed to do it, and I did almost die, but Virtuoso placed she's combat knowledge in my head. Glimmer blinked twice in disbelief. Is that how you fought Newton so well that time? Yup. Virtuoso is really good that way. Can she place the sword fighting knowledge in me? Wait, how did it almost kill you? If my mind is not in control of my power, it can go off and do bad things. It's fine when I'm sleeping or something like that. Virtuoso helped me concentrate on something once, and it lessened my control of my power. So to place the knowledge in my head, we had to use this drug that the HU gave me to keep my power from going off before I got to Alpha. I kind of overdosed. Did it do any permanent damage? Glimmer asked. No, I'm good now. Just Connors confiscated the drug and said never to do anything like that again. I don't think Virtuoso would try that again. Glimmer tried to put a positive spin back on the conversation. Does that mean you will have to learn French the traditional way? Yeah, that and my mental shield has gotten so strong Virtuoso can't get in. Maybe she could get in if I use that stuff again, Cosmo said. Don't do anything that would endanger your health. French isn't that hard to learn. No, we did this thing where she would show me an illusion of something and I would make it. We won't be doing that anymore, and I don't have our artistic ability. Then you can teach me the sword and I'll teach you French. Deal? Sure, and maybe work on that light power. I mean, if you could get that up to a 9, that's a strong anchor score. I can do that with my academic teacher. Mr. Brown? His handle was Photon. He was a brain with TK, light powers, and precognition. I'll ask him to start working on the light powers with me. Right now. Glimmer stood and extended a hand to Cosmos. I want to see if you really know how to use the sword. Let me put my laptop away, Cosmos said as he jumped up and hurried to his dorm. Bioforce had just finished studying and heard the noise coming from the new game room. Darkspeed and she were playing a game of pool as she walked in. Olympian and many others were watching as Darkspeed watched she shoot. Are you sure you don't want to make a small wager? She said with a smile. Just shoot, you hustler, Darkspeed said. What's going on? Bioforce asked Olympian. She is owning the table and Darkspeed, he said. I'm not being owned. I'm just not winning, Darkspeed said. Denial Boy here was running the table until she started playing. She's cheating. She must be using her attract and repel power or something. Nobody is this good, Darkspeed said. Nope, I'm not using my powers to influence the balls at all. What about that wager? She said. I'm not stupid. I'm not betting you anything, Darkspeed said. Bioforce smiled. It's her precognition. She knows if she'll make the shot or not. Are you using your combat sense to play pool? Darkspeed barked. I don't know how to turn it off, she said with a smile. Air hockey. I'll play you at air hockey. You try to move fast enough to get something past me and you'll break the game. Nice try. Dude, I don't think you can beat her at any of the games here, Olympian said. I'll have to get Cosmos to make some new games. Something that allows super speed or at least a random element to them. Ha! You're going to try and invent a game that gives your super speed the advantage? Don't like losing much, do you? Bioforce said. Darkspeed knew she was right, but didn't like it anyway. I'm going to get something to drink. Darkspeed walked away at a normal speed. Olympian, do you want to play? Bioforce asked. Sure, no powers allowed, Olympian said as he started to rack the balls for the next game. Darkspeed was getting a coffee from Echo when he heard Connor's voice from behind him. I thought Mormons didn't drink coffee. What? Oh, it doesn't matter how much of this I drink. Well, don't drink so much that you can't sleep. Why do you say that? Darkspeed asked. You said sometimes you don't sleep for days. Remember the time I couldn't wake you up? Connors then asked for a coffee too. Oh, that's not because of caffeine. With my regeneration, caffeine doesn't really affect me one way or the other. Can I ask you something? Answering questions is part of my job. Let's go up to my room. Okay, Darkspeed said as he followed Connors to his apartment. Connors opened the door to his apartment, and Darkspeed was surprised by the loud music that was playing in his main room. Just a second, Connors said as he used his power to turn off the music. What was that? That was Kiss, the rock band. You like Kiss? Yeah, in the 70s before the war when things were calm, I found a time to relax and enjoy some of the things most people do. Kiss was huge at the time, and I attended a few concerts back then. Darkspeed walked over to where a few CDs were sitting next to a stereo. This one on top, they were here in Australia? Back in 2003, they did a concert in Melbourne with the local Melbourne Orchestra. I was there all 3 nights. Really? I never pictured you as the concert type. You're talking to a guy who flies and throws lightning bolts. God of Thunder was always one of my favorite songs. Not exactly church music, but with everything considered, it's the least of my worries. What's on your mind? When I was questioning you today about how you did things with our schedule, you smiled and said, go on. It was like a lesson you wanted me to get. That's what I wanted to ask you about. Easy question with a complicated answer. I'll try to simplify it for you. If I tell you, boy, I have had the worst day, what would you say next? Why? What happened to you today?